Students, in past few video lectures, we have discussed about electrical resistance and factors affecting electrical resistance. Today we will solve some applications, some problems based on electrical resistance, how to calculate resistance of the given material. On the screen there is one question. Calculate the resistance of an aluminum wire of length 50 centimeter and cross-sectional area 2 millimeter square. The resistivity of aluminum is given to you. This is one simple problem. Always we'll start with simple and then we will go for complications. In this problem, all the data is being given to you. Whatever the data is given, just you write that. Calculate resistance. You are supposed to find out the resistance of the conductor. R is equal to how much? Length of the wire is given. It is 50 centimeter. And cross-sectional area is given 2.0 millimeter square. Remember, whenever you are getting milli, like these are called prefixes. When you get prefixes in the data, you should immediately convert it into SI system. So 2.0 into milli is 10 power minus 3 whole square meter square. And 50 centimeter, that is 50 into 10 power minus 2 meter. You should find out the resistance of the conductor. R is equal to rho L divided by A. Resistivity is also being given in the problem, that is 2.6 into 10 power minus 8 ohm meter into length is 50 into 10 power minus 2 meter divided by area of cross section is 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter square. You should calculate this all so that you will be getting some answer, and that is in ohm. This is how you can just substitute the values. Like sometimes you will be getting very silly questions where you can substitute all the data in the formula so that directly you will be getting the answer. And in the previous NEET exam, like 2020 NEET exam, nearly 15 to 19 questions are directly substituting data in the formula. It's very simple paper this time. Physics part is also very easy. Students, in this question, you have a cuboid whose length is given as A and breadth is given as B, height is given as C. Here we have a cuboid, length, breadth and height are being given to you. And you have these points AB and EF and as well as CD. Okay, so we have different points AB. You should now find out resistance of the conductor across AB, across CD and across EF. So AB, this is point A and this is point B. This is point A and this is point B. So that means you will be having a conductor like this. This is conductor, this is A and this is B. Okay, what is length of this now? Length of this conductor in between AB is equal to C in this case. And what about area of cross section? Area of cross section is equal to A into B. That is area of cross section. Okay, now I want to find out resistance of the conductor. What is formula for resistance of the conductor? Rho L divided by A. Rho is rho as it is. L, length along AB is C. Therefore, I'll take it as C divided by area of cross section of this is AB. Therefore, resistance across AB is rho C divided by AB. That is number 1. Now, let us go for number 2. You want to find out resistance between CD. R CD is equal to how much? You should find out. C and D, CD it is front face and back face. C is the front face of this cuboid. D is back face of the cuboid. So in between CD, what is the length now? L is equal to B. Okay, in between front face and back face, what is the total length of the conductor? Length of the conductor is equal to breadth B. And what about area of cross section? Area of cross section of the conductor will be A into C. Area of cross section of the conductor will be A into C for this cuboid, whose length we are considering it as B. Therefore, RCD is equal to rho L is B divided by A into C. That's number 2. Next, you should find out resistance across REF. Now, E is left face, F is right face. See, E is left face. You could see in the figure. E is left face, F is right face. Therefore, L, if you are considering EF, length of that will be equal to A, and area of cross section of that will be B into C. Area of cross section is B into C. So resistance REF is equal to rho L is A divided by BC. Right? We have got 3 different values. Check it up. From this, what is your observation? Resistance of the conductor depends upon dimensions and through what points you are finding resistance. You should keep that in your mind. Resistance, if you are finding across AB, it is different, across BC, it is different, across CD, it is different. Like if you are finding resistance across for the same conductor across different phases, you will get different resistance, but overall resistivity will be remained same for that conductor. Okay, that is important thing you need to keep in your mind. Check it in this problem. A portion of length L from a conductor is being cut from a solid wire. So you have a very big solid wire, and from that solid wire I am cutting a portion, and length of that portion is L. The two ends of this portion have circular cross-sectional area of radius R1 and radius R2. So this total length of that conductor which is being cut from a long wire has radius of cross-section R1, like the other one has radius R2. So area of cross-section here you can write it as pi R1 square, and area of cross-section here pi R2 square. Clearly R2 is greater than R1. It is connected lengthwise to a circuit. Now you are connecting this to a circuit. You are connecting this to a circuit and current I is flowing through it. I already mentioned current I. The resistivity of material of the wire is rho. So its resistivity is mentioned as rho. Calculate the resistance of the considered portion and the voltage developed across it. You are now supposed to find out resistance of this portion. You should find out R is equal to how much, and as well as if resistance is known, definitely you can find out voltage. You should also find out what is the voltage developed within this. These two is what you are now supposed to find out. Area of cross section at the left portion is less. Area of cross section at the right portion is greater. So therefore, here area of cross section is variable with position or with length. So whenever area of cross section is variable, if area of cross section is variable, directly we cannot use the basic formula. Of course, we have basic relation R is equal to rho L divided by A. But here, area of cross section is not constant. Therefore, R is also variable here. This is variable because A is variable, coming from left to right. Coming from left to right, area of cross section is increasing. As a result, resistance also increases. Therefore, resistance at this portion, if I consider R1, resistance at this portion will become R2, and somewhere in between resistance will be some other value. It is variable with respect to position. Therefore, what I will do, as it is variable, whenever something is variable, what you need to do? You need to go for differentiation and integration. You should use concept of integration and differentiation whenever any physical quantity is variable with respect to position or with respect to time or anything, any other physical quantity. Therefore, here I'll take very small element from the conductor, from this total conductor. First, I'll take very small element, and for that element, I'll find out the resistance. After finding out resistance of that element, I will integrate it in between length, like in between the area of cross section from pi r1 square to pi r2 square. I'll integrate that total, substituting the limits pi r1 square and pi r2 square. That is my idea to find out the overall resistance of this conductor. Okay, so once again, I'll make it clear. As resistance is variable with respect to position here, because area of cross section is variable, I'll take very small element in this conductor. I'll take one element over here. Like this, I'll take one small element. And for this element, first, I'll be finding out resistance. This is very small element whose area of cross section is like dA. And for this very small element, first I will be finding out resistance. After that, you will integrate it between the limits from lower area of cross section to higher area of cross section, so that you can find out net resistance of the conductor. That is my idea to calculate. So first I'll take this element. This element will have very small resistance. I need to now find out that resistance. Okay. So students, my intention is to first find out resistance of this small element. In order to find out resistance of this small element, I should find out its radius. Its radius, I am considering it as a small r, which is marked over here. And this small r can be written as r1 plus x. This length, I am considering it as r1. This is r1. Total radius of this is very small element is r1 plus x. R1 plus x I am considering. Now, I am taking this triangle ABC. Here is A, here is B, and here is C. And I am taking one more triangle A, D, and E. Okay. So for the both triangles, theta is the same. So I can write tan theta is equal to BC divided by this total length, and tan theta is equal to DE divided by length from A to D. So that's what I am writing here. Tan theta is equal to CB by AB. And what is a CB? CB is nothing but R2 minus R1 divided by AB is length here. For this smaller triangle, tan theta will be opposite. This opposite length I am considering it as X divided by length from 1 end to A to D. I am considering it as L dash. So from there you can make subject X. X is equal to, bring this L1 to other side, so that X is equal to R2 minus R1 by L into L dash. Here L dash is variable with respect to position. Now R is equal to, take this expression, I am writing it here. R is equal to R1 plus, already X we have calculated, that X I am substituting here. Now take LCM, R1 into L plus L dash into R2 minus R1 divided by L. We have got R now. I should find out area of this cross section of very small element. Area of element is pi R square. So area of that element I can write it as pi into R square. I'll square this total. It is divided by L square into L R1 plus L dash square into R2 minus R1, or one thing I'll do, I'll take this as whole square. And denominator L square as it is I have written here. This is area of cross section of that particular conductor, like very small element which you have chosen. And this elemental area we have got. Now I want to find out resistance of the conductor. What is formula for resistance of the conductor? Resistance of the conductor for the very small element, it is dr, which is equal to rho, and the length is L dash divided by area of cross section of this, it is A. Okay. So area we have already calculated. You can substitute that area here. After substituting, you will be getting dr. Okay. Once dr is obtained, what you need to do in order to find out total resistance R, you need to integrate that integration of dr within the limits from radius R1 to R2. If you integrate this, you will be getting final resistance of the conductor. That is the procedure you need to follow to solve the problem. Try to work out that yourself. So students, we are finding out dr first by substituting area of cross section, and dl is the very small elemental length. Now take this dr and substitute this within the integration. It is rho into dl divided by pi by l square into r1l plus r2 minus r1 into l dash whole square. Okay. Now constants you can bring it out. Constants are rho, and this l square goes to numerator, l square, and divided by pi comes out. Integration. Limits, starting limit, like you are taking conductor like this, right? Total length is L of the conductor. So starting from this end, L is equal to 0. If you go to this end, L is equal to L. So therefore, you can take integration limits from 0 to L and substitute remaining terms. dl divided by r1l plus r2 minus r1 into L dash whole square. This is integrable term, and these are constants. So from here you can write, if you evaluate this integration and substitute the limits, you will be getting R is equal to minus rho L divided by pi into R2 minus R1 into 1 by R1 1 by R2 minus 1 by R1, that is written as rho L divided by pi into R2 R1. This is overall resistance of the conductor. Integration part is left to you as mathematical assignment. You should do that. So after calculating resistance, you should now find out voltage of the conductor. So we know that voltage V is equal to I into R. Total resistance of the conductor we have already calculated, that is R rho L by pi into R2 R1. And it is already mentioned current is passing through this conductor, and that current is given as I. So simply voltage V is equal to I into R. R is rho L divided by pi R2 R1. This gives you voltage across this conductor. Across this particular conductor, voltage will be I into rho L divided by pi into R2 R1. Students, we have two resistors. One is having resistance R1 and the other one is having resistance R2 at 0 degrees Celsius. They are connected in series. Like you have one resistor here and another resistor here. This has resistance R1 and this has resistance R2. And it is at a temperature 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now you are increasing the temperature. As a result, your temperature is being increased to T degrees Celsius. What would happen? As temperature is increasing, R1 will be increased and as well as R2 will be increased. R1 tend to become R1 dash, R2 tend to become R2 dash. These are at T degrees Celsius. Okay. So resistances at T degrees Celsius, you will be getting it different values. This is R1 dash and this is R2 dash. It is at temperature T degrees Celsius. Now, what is mentioned in the problem? It is given that the effective resistance in the series is the same at all temperatures. So when you are taking these two, like effective resistance in series, what is the effective resistance in series? R effective will be equal to R1 plus R2. This is at 0 degrees Celsius. Similarly, R effective is equal to R1 dash plus R2 dash. This is at T degrees Celsius. What is mentioned in the problem? Effective resistance in series at any temperature is equal That means R effective is equal to R effective dash, that is given in the problem. It is given in the problem. Now substitute those here. R1 plus R2 is equal to R1 dash plus R2 dash. So R1 plus R2 is equal to, what is R1 dash? R1 dash is nothing but R1 into 1 plus alpha 1 into T plus R2 into 1 plus alpha 2 into T. Okay. So you can expand this even. R1 plus R2 is equal to R1 plus R1 alpha 1 T plus R2 plus R2 alpha 2 into T. R1 plus R1, R1 plus R2 are here and as well as here. So I'll be cancelling that. What is left over here? Temperature is also same. So it is R1 alpha 1 T is equal to minus R2 alpha 2 into T. This T and T gets cancelled. Therefore, finally you can write R1 alpha 1 is equal to minus of R2 alpha 2. That means the product of resistance and temperature coefficient is equal if some of the resistances are constant at any temperature. Clear? So if it is in the question mentioned like at any temperature the resistances are equal, then in such case directly you can use this relation. R1 alpha 1 is equal to minus of R2 alpha 2, or you can simply write R1 alpha 1 plus R2 alpha 2 is equal to 0. Either you can use this expression to solve that kind of problems. Students, as we have already know that R at any temperature T is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha into delta theta. Resistance of the given conductor is variable with respect to temperature. Likewise, resistivity also changes with temperature, because resistivity rho is equal to, resistivity is dependent upon resistance of the conductor, right? Because R is equal to rho L by A. Then how do you write rho? Rho is equal to RA divided by L. As temperature is changing, what happens to this resistance? Resistance is changing. Even though area of cross section and length are same for a given conductor, as resistance is different at different temperatures, resistivity also changes with respect to temperature. Okay. So at 0 degrees Celsius, rho naught is equal to R naught A divided by L. Area of cross section and length is the same, is A and L. Rho naught I am taking it as R naught A divided by L. At T degrees Celsius, rho at temperature T is equal to RT at L. A and L are same at any temperature. We are not changing them. So at temperature 0 degrees Celsius, resistance is R naught, and at temperature T degrees Celsius, I am writing it as RT. Okay. So you can take it as even Kelvin also, 0 degrees Celsius or 0 Kelvin, no problem with that. Let us take, you can take it as Kelvin also. That does not make huge difference. So I can write RT as R naught into 1 plus alpha delta T. So therefore, I will be writing it as rho T is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha delta theta A divided by L, right? So rho at temperature T is equal, what is R naught A by L? R naught A by L is rho naught 1 plus alpha into delta theta. This is the expression where resistivity also changes with respect to temperature. Resistivity at any temperature is equal to rho naught into 1 plus alpha delta theta, where delta theta is the change in temperature. Students, let us see one problem based on variation of resistance with respect to temperature. In this, it is mentioned the temperature of coefficient of resistance of the platinum is given. Alpha is equal to 3.92 into 10 power minus 3 Kelvin inverse. This is at 0 degrees Celsius. Find the temperature at which the increase in resistance of the platinum wire is 10% of its value at 0 degrees Celsius. That means you are supposed to find out temperature. Temperature at which resistance of the platinum is increased by 10% of initial. This is the condition given to you. So initially temperature at 0 degree Celsius, there will be some resistance for the platinum. Now as you are increasing the temperature, what should happen to resistance? Resistance should definitely increase with respect to temperature. So as temperature increases, resistance is becoming 10% of its initial value. So at what temperature its resistance increases to 10% of its initial value. We are being supposed to find out that. So I'll write let initial resistance is R1. Then how do you write R2? R2 is equal to R1 plus 10% of R1. What is happening? R1 value as it is will be there. For that it is 10% increased. That become R2. So this gives you 10%. Percentage is 1 by 100. So I can write it as divided by 100. Okay, or this and this gets cancelled. So simply I can write R2 is equal to 1.1 R1. So R2 value we have got it in terms of R1. And what is hint given to you? You are being given alpha. So as we know, alpha is equal to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 into temperature delta theta. What you are supposed to find out? Delta theta, change in the temperature you are supposed to find. So delta theta is equal to, what is R2? 1.1 R1 minus R1 divided by R1 into alpha. Alpha is 3.92 into 10 power minus 3, right? And unit will be Kelvin inverse. You can change all these terms into Kelvin. So finally delta theta, change in the temperature, if you evaluate this, you will be getting it as nearly 25.51 degrees Celsius. If you calculate this, you will be getting nearly delta theta, which is change in the temperature. That is 25.51 degree Celsius. That is delta theta. Initial temperature is already been given in degrees Celsius. So change in the temperature, we are also considering it as 25.51. That is change in the temperature from initial to final. We are considering this in degrees Celsius. So delta theta or delta theta is equal to theta 2 minus theta 1. This is equal to 25.51 minus 0 degrees Celsius. So theta 2 is equal to 25.51 degrees Celsius. If I want to write it in Kelvin, what you will do? Theta 2 will be equal to 25.51 plus 273 Kelvin. That gives you answer in the Kelvin. Data. Read question and write down the data first. The resistance of the iron wire is 10 ohm. R is equal to 10 ohm and alpha is equal to 5 into 10 power minus 3 per degree Celsius. If a current of 30 ampere is flowing in it at 20 degrees Celsius. So T1 is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Keeping the potential difference across its length constant, if the temperature is increased to 120 degrees Celsius, temperature is increased to 120 degrees Celsius, what is the current flow through that wire? You are supposed to find out what is the current flow through that wire. So as we know, at 20 degrees Celsius, resistance R is equal to 10 ohm. As temperature is increased to 120 degrees Celsius, resistance will become R dash. Is it not? So you should find out this R dash first. You need to find out the effective resistance here. R dash is equal to R naught into into or R1 into 1 plus alpha into delta theta. From here you will get R dash. So R dash is equal to R naught, it is 10 into 1 plus alpha 5 into 10 power minus 3 into change in the temperature. I am writing it degrees Celsius itself. It is 120 minus 20. This gives you R dash, that is 10 into 1 plus 5 into 10 power minus 1. This is 10 into 1 plus 0.5. This is equal to 10 plus 5. This is equal to 15. R dash is equal to 15 ohm. So we have got R dash is 15 ohm. So at temperature 120 degrees Celsius, what is the value? 15 ohm. Therefore current also changes. V is equal to IM. I dash is equal to V divided by R dash. So V divided by R dash. V is already same for whatever we have got. V is equal to I R divided by R dash. So I dash is equal to, what is I? I is 3 ampere, sorry 30 ampere into what is initial resistance? 10 ohm divided by what is R dash? 15. 15 to 30. 2 times 20. I dash is equal to 20 ampere. This is current in the circuit. A hollow copper cylinder is of inner radius 4 centimeter. Inner radius is 4 centimeter and the outer radius is 5 centimeter. Now hollow portion is completely filled with suitable copper wires. Find percentage change in its electrical resistance. So we have a cylinder. Inner radius is 4 centimeter and outer radius is 5 centimeter. And what you are doing now, you are filling this material with this hollow part. This hollow part is filled with some other material. Okay. So if the hollow portion, already this material, it is being filled. This is cylindrical. This is cylinder. This portion is already having matter. This is the figure. Now hollow portion is completely filled with suitable copper wires. Find percentage change in its electrical resistance. So you are now supposed to find out change in the electrical resistance. So in order to find out change in the electrical resistance, what you will do? And remember, it has specific resistivity rho. Hollow cylinder of specific resistance rho. Inner radius is 4 centimeter and outer radius is 5 centimeter. Hollow portion is completely filled with copper wire. You should now find out the percentage change in the material. So first what I'll do, I'll write down formula for electrical resistance. R is equal to, what is formula for resistance of the cylinder? R is equal to, however, you should write it as R is equal to rho L divided by A. But what is A? A is area of cross section of this cylinder. So I'll write it as rho into L divided by A is area of cross section of the cylinder. Cylinder area of cross section is pi into capital R square minus small r square. Or you can take it as outer radius minus outer radius whole square minus inner radius whole square. So you can write resistance R is equal to rho L divided by pi into outer radius is 5 square minus 4 square into 10 power minus 4. Because centimeter I am converting it into meter. So this gives you rho L divided by pi into 10 power minus 4 into 5 square is 25. 25 minus 16, it is 9. Right? This is resistance R. Now you are supposed to find out final resistance of the conductor after completely filling this with copper wire. So when you completely fill this with copper wire, what would happen to resistance? R dash, it is rho L divided by pi, it is phi square into 10 power minus 4. Why I am taking here phi? Now when you are filling the material with copper, already it is copper cylinder, you are filling the internal radius, internal empty hollow space also with copper, so that it becomes solid cylinder. Previously it was hollow cylinder. When you are filling the empty space with copper wire, it becomes solid cylinder. For solid cylinder, what is area? Area is pi r square. What is this r value now? R become from center to outer radius, that is phi. So directly I'll write it phi. So this gives you r dash is equal to rho, r dash is already been calculated. R dash is equal to rho L divided by phi square, it is 25. R dash is equal to rho L by 25 into pi into 10 power minus 4. Because centimeter I am converting it into meter. Wherever I am getting it, I am converting it into meter. Now you want to find out percentage change. In order to find out percentage change, what is the formula for percentage change? Delta R by R into 100 gives you percentage change, right? So delta R, it is R dash minus R divided by R into 100. This is equal to, I'll take rho L by pi into 10 power minus 4. I am considering it as some constant K divided by 9. And this also I am considering it as some constant K divided by 25. This gives you K by 25 minus K by 9 divided by K by 9 into 100. You should evaluate this. If you evaluate this, you will be getting it as minus 64%, right? That is the final expression. See, there is decrease in the resistance in this problem. Why it is? Because internally, previously in the first case, it is air medium. Air is bad conductor of electricity. And in the second case, you are filling that with copper. Copper is good conductor of electricity. So as you are increasing the copper, what would happen? Number of free electrons goes on increases. Therefore, its conductivity increases. So as conductivity increases, resistance decreases. Therefore, when you are filling the empty space with copper, resistance is decreased by 64%. That's the reason why in the answer you have got minus 64%.